Hello, my name is Sarah. Today we are here to debate on animal exploitation, one of the most aggravating issues in the world. Before presenting our arguments, allow me firstly to define the resolution we are debating today. Thus, animal exploitation is the intentional infliction by humans of suffering or harm upon any non-human animal, regardless of whether the act is against the law. More narrowly, it can be the causing of harm or suffering for specific gain, such as killing animals for food or for their fur. First of all, I would like to explain that my point refers to all the circumstances affecting the way in which exploited animals live with regard to their physical and psychological well-being. Nowadays, more than ever, non-human animals are exploited in many ways which lead to abuse and harm. The type of animal exploitation that directly harms the most animals is their use for food. Many people never stop to think about this and just take it for granted that using animals for food is fine and that animals aren't harmed much by it. The reality, though, is that animals are harmed very much not only by being deprived of their lives, but also by other harms that come from factory farming. The lives of chickens and hens, for example, are short and full of suffering. The vast majority raised for their flesh or eggs live crammed together in tiny spaces. They only see sunlight when they are taken to a slaughterhouse. During their entire lives, they live under artificial light, which is more economically profitable but also alters the hens and chickens' biological cycles. It generates tremendous stress, which leads to behaviors such as pulling one another's feathers out and cannibalism. The harms animals suffer when they are sent to be killed starts before they reach the slaughterhouse during their transport. They are confined in extremely uncomfortable spaces where they suffer due to weather conditions, tiredness, thirst, and hunger. They also endure fears and terrible anxiety. All is in addition to the obvious fact that they are deprived of their lives. Animals all around the world suffer terribly in circuses and other shows using animals. They are forced to live in situations that are often similar to those in factory farms, and they are continuously subjected to pain, terrible fear, and distress, so they will perform in circus acts. Animals used in circuses spend almost their entire lives in cramped traveling crates, barns, or trucks in which they lack room to move freely. They are let out just to be tortured, so they perform certain tricks that are often physically uncomfortable and psychological, distressing, as well as dangerous. Over time, the animals can damage their muscles, joints, or bones. For instance, elephants are often made to stand on their hind legs or even balance on one leg, and this can cause hernias for such heavy animals. In addition to the physical pain which results from these forms of torture, we must add psychological distress. In fact, due to anxiety and fear caused by tortures, exploited animals commonly suffer from psychological problems which can lead to very serious mental conditions. As a result, the animals display stereotyped behaviors such as repeatedly moving back and forth or from side to side. Others hit their heads, bite the bars of their cages, or self-mutilate. Unfortunately, these are not the only circumstances which affect the way in which exploited animals live. Hunting, sport fishing, animal testing, clothing industry could be added to those already mentioned. Regardless of their capabilities, we consider that no living being deserves to be abused. All of us believe that it's wrong to torture infant and disabled human beings who don't have the same abilities as adults. In the same way, we must admit that all creatures deserve liberty and respect, not because they share the characteristics we admire in ourselves, but because they are living beings. We share the same evolutionary origins, we inhabit the same earth, and we are ruled by the same laws of nature. We are all the same. Animals are not ours to eat, wear, experiment on, use for entertainment, or abuse in any other way. As you could see, animal exploitation results in thousands of victims every year, and this is why we strongly condemn it and consider that there are no consistent arguments to justify the abuse. Thank you for your